Salute, salute, salute to God, the Most High, the Creator of everything. Salute to all my day ones and to the new subscribers. Thank you as well. If you're just not stumbling across my platform, come in, show some Southern hospitality, wipe your feet all over my welcome mat by hitting that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and share these videos, share the experience. That thumbs up button is very important. It lets YouTube know to push these videos through the algorithm. Trolls! Only God and your mama and maybe a UPS man or somebody here and there can love you. All right, embrace it. Last but not least, y'all know what to do. Put them up, put them up. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. One time, yeah. I say one time, yeah. I say one time. One time for the Uncut Squad, one time for the Gifted Family, one time for Big Bro's Corner, Big Bro's Backup, one time for God, the creator of everything, the real MVP, y'all, and two salutes to the Most High, the G-O-D. Big Bro, how you doing today, Big Bro?
I am doing well, sir. I want to also thank God for being alive today to just be able to talk to you about an issue I came across last week. God has allowed me to stay in a kind of a peaceful frame of mind about this issue and trying to address this from a spiritual standpoint. The issue being a young man in Florida. He was 23 years old, an airman. His name is Roger Fortson, Fortson. Was in the Air Force, excuse me. Uh, Around May the 3rd of last year, there was a disturbance called in by a neighbor in his apartment building, supposedly, and the person who called was a female, a white female. She called the sheriff to come to the apartment complex for disturbance of some type. So she met the sheriff from that area outside and explained to him that there's a disturbance going on. It's kind of loud. He's worried about somebody being hurt inside. So the sheriff from the Oskaloosa Sheriff Department in Florida went up to the apartment unit number 141, knocked on the door, identified himself, and said, "Open the door," very loudly and clearly as to who he was. And then the door opened, and there was the airman, Roger Fortson, standing there. And in his right hand, but pointing toward the ground, was a gun, but it was pointing toward the ground, okay? So the sheriff immediately just shoots off 5 or 6 shots at this young man, and the man then falls on the floor. Of course, he's still alive for a few minutes there, of course. But the situation that I saw, we've seen in the past, and I understand that policemen have to protect themselves. And I'm trying to address this from a spiritual standpoint that our human systems are not perfect, and the policemen are definitely not perfect. So I understand that, but the reaction of this sheriff just disturbed me spiritually and, of course, as a human, that the gun was pointed toward the floor. So why would the sheriff, fire off 5 or 6 shots at this young man who was inside his apartment, okay? In his apartment. There was no noise. You can hear from outside on the video cam, but a fight going on with somebody else. So the thought being that these policemen these days seem to think that people look like us, I don't want to say that, are an immediate threat and should be put down without giving them a chance to even say anything. And that's most that our human systems and our culture in this country has perpetuated the belief that Black men are somehow a threat, and that gives a right to the policeman to automatically just put us down because they feel threatened. So I'm trying to stay calm about the issue, but these things keep going on. I know we can't, just wave a wand and everything's going to be cured. But, as a human being, I know these sheriffs don't go out and pray about their day. Maybe some of them do, but they should think about they are harming families with their actions. So however they're trained, it needs to be humanly retrained to address how they respond to people like look like you and I, put it that way. And that's a summary of just what I read about the past few days. And I saw the video itself was shown the video camera of the officer yesterday. And what I saw was the gun was down to the ground. The sheriff just shot him right away. One, bam, 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 bam. 5 times in a row because he saw a gun in this man's hand that was pointing toward the ground. So that was the what I saw, sir.
All right, thank you for that briefing. You know, there's so many questions running through my head, but I want to start here. There's something you said that drew my initial interest. You said you wonder why they have to find a better way to approach people like us, why there's a different state of mind when it's someone who looks like you and I legally obtaining a firearm, or brandishing a firearm, or whatever it may be. That is their protocol, big bro. This has been part of the legal system, the justice system, for hundreds of years, just in this country alone. Now think about throughout the world. All right, think about throughout the world. All right, but right here in this country, especially in these southern states that carry the weight of slavery and Jim Crow and Reconstruction and all of this other stuff, this is their method of operation. Now, I listen to you, and I listen to you very well. And the questions that are raised in my head is, everyone who knocks on, we all know how a police can knock. Okay? We all know how a police can knock. We know. It's not like they're knocking like civilized human beings. They're knocking like, hey, someone's either trying to break in or that's got to be the police. All right? So that's enough to alarm someone. That's a very disturbing knock that would put someone on the defense. Okay, we don't know what area he lives in, big bro. He could have been like you. Maybe he's one of the only black people in his neighborhood. Maybe he's been having problems. So I hear this loud knock at my door. I'm the only black person in this neighborhood. Let me at least answer my door and be protected. Better safe than sorry. Now, in this case, him being safe also made him sorry. And it wasn't his fault. he never, the officer never got a call that he was outside brandishing a weapon in public. Never got a call that he was upset with the weapon, arguing with somebody, and possible foul play involved. Never got a call that he was breaking and entering into anything. And the officer never stopped to ask him, was he licensed? This individual was in the privacy of their own home, which now we're talking Florida, which is the right to stand your ground, and it's also the castle law. The castle law extends all the way into your vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So you have the right to protect your home, yourself, and your vehicle. Understand your ground and the castle law here in Florida. This officer effed up. Real talk, this officer effed up. Whether he opened the door and seen a gun or not, how many guns did we see in public on January 6th during the insurrection, big bro? How many guns? Huh? How many guns? These people are always brandishing weapons. They're proud of their weapons. Some of them carry out in public. They're not getting this. This goes right back to 2015, Mike Brown. Mike Brown. It goes right back. Now, remember Botham John, the individual who was killed in his apartment because Kim Porter, no, not, was it Kim Porter? What was the lady's name? The one who accidentally walked into the brother's house thinking it was hers. The cop.
Yeah, that was in
Cop.
Texas, right?
It was
Texas, I
somewhere.
believe. I don't recall the name.
But think about it. If this brother had a weapon rather than a bowl of ice cream, he'd still be alive. Now, this brother right here, in whom this Karen called the police on him and got him killed, many are going to say he shouldn't have answered the door with a weapon. I need y'all to think how we think. Don't think how you think. Don't think how in law enforcement thinks. Think survival. Think survival. Think us. Think opposition. Think prejudice. Okay? This is how I need the people to think. We're always thinking on the side of law enforcement. We're always comply or die, or we're always, we're always agreeing with the general public, the majority. Right now is when people need to start thinking like that young man was thinking. You don't know who he's had problems with in his neighborhood. Okay, big bro, you've got approached in your neighborhood. Okay, from the whole Donald Trump go Brandon thing to, hey, when you gonna wash my car? You know. So you don't know what led up to this stuff. All right. We don't know how long this brother been going through this. This same lady that called the police could have been one of the ones harassing him during his whole stay. So he wanted to make sure that he was protected under his Second Amendment right. And if he was a serviceman, then we know that he legally obtained that weapon.
Yeah.
It was legal. You are serving the United States military, which is more decorative than just being a police. So this brother is dead because someone knocked on his door in a threatening fashion. We don't know what else he's been going through. Plus, he may be the only black in his neighborhood. So better safe than sorry. I'm going to open my door, not cross my threshold of the public brandishing this weapon, because I understand that it's concealed, it's private, and I'm on my private property and the privacy of my home, and you shoot me dead. Make it make sense. There's no more conforming to them. No, this is their law. This is their reaction. If he's black, if he's melanated, shoot him. We don't have to worry about them being connected to money, lawyers, no nothing. No nothing. All they're going to do is march. All they're going to do is march. They may boycott. We've seen this before. We'll be all right. We'll suspend them with pay. We're going to hide his name, and we're going to do a full investigation, and we're going to blame it on this guy for answering the door with his gun. How many people around the world answer the door with their gun, big bro? Believe it or not, that is your right. That is your
Yeah.
right. Now, if you approach someone's door on the outside and you're brandishing a weapon and you want them to open the door, now that creates a whole different scenario. Now, was that police armed? Was that police knocking on his brother's door? So a police can be
Yeah.
armed and be talking to someone no matter what their culture is, and you can be armed. That creates a sense of fear because I don't know what mood you're in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your last call might have done to you mentally before you arrive here at this call. The wrong thing might trigger you to just put holes in anybody's chest. You're armed, we're not. That creates a sense of fear and a panic. And that's how these police have this control. But now they figure if you've got a weapon and they've got a weapon, there's no more control. There's no more control. So now they feel like they have to control the conversation. They have to control the situation, and they're always going to say they were in fear for their life. How can you say you're in fear for your life? And this brother answered the door in the privacy of his home with a gun aimed down. He was not sure who was on the other end. She could have immediately backed up, told him to drop the weapon, asked him did he have paperwork, understand that this man was born with unalienable rights granted by his creator. He's in his home. He's in his home. Let me say that one more time. He's in his home. This isn't a traffic stop on the side of the road. Hey, do you have a weapon? Hey, don't reach for that. Boom, boom. Philando Castile. Nope. There was another young lady who was shot through the door, remember, in Ocala a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and these same type of Karens were picking on her children. All she did was knock on the door, wanting to hold a conversation with the lady, and she's dead. Go back to the no
Mm-hmm.
knock warrants with Breonna Taylor. You know, this has been going on forever. Forever. So for once, we're not going to look at this on the side of law enforcement because law enforcement can create public panic as well. These officers aren't the most trained officers. They're not the most sweet talking officers. Okay. They show up for this. They show up for this, but let it be one of theirs. Let it be one of theirs. Let them show up in your neighborhood where everybody's exercising their rights and they're out, knocking on somebody's door and somebody answers the door and they happen to be cleaning their long rifle as they answer the door or holding their AK-47 around their neck, as they answer the door. you're gonna hold a conversation with them about that gun. Hey man, that's a bad gun, my dude. What year is that? What make? What model? Does it do that? You're gonna go through the whole dynamics, like talking cars and motors. Now you're talking guns, bullets, firearms. Hey, did you serve? Blah blah blah. It's a whole general conversation. But when it's us on the other end, pow, and it's over. This has been our government. This has been our government. That same officer knows people who looks just like him that he hangs out with that has nothing to do with the military or law enforcement who collect weapons as well. Was he ever threatened going into their homes? Is he threatened on those type of calls? January 6th, the insurrection. How many long arms did we see? How many guns did we see? How many? We see this all the time. All these public shootings. It's not us doing these public shootings, big bro. But they find a way to spare them. But when you black and you answer the door with a gun and you driving with a gun, it's a problem. But yet this government will sell anybody a gun regardless of color because they go by rights and content of character and background. So why aren't these police going by rights, content of character and background? This man was more prestigious than you. Than you. So no, I'm not buying it. This is the first I've heard of it. I haven't read up on it. You know,
Went on the freeze there. So okay, now I lost your audio. Can you hear me? Yeah, I lost your audio. Yeah, the audio left for some reason. It's still recording though, but your audio went off. Must be internet issues probably. Yeah. Wow. You're on mute. I can't hear you. You still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I lost the audio for a while, then but you're back now. So whatever happened, it cut off like a minute of your conversation there for some reason.
Yeah, it's like this country chooses to take two steps forward, but law enforcement constantly takes two, three steps back. Okay, there's no way why a country can award. There's no way a country should be able to award you a Second Amendment right, tell you what you can and can't do in the privacy of your home versus being out in public, tell you what it takes to be deemed a threat, and you doing the opposite to not be deemed a threat, so that you are well within the guidelines of regulations pertaining to you carrying this firearm. Okay, but yet law enforcement can come along and say, "Hey, I'm threatened. Hey, I'm threatened. Hey, I'm threatened." You know, like I said, you'll go to your best friend's house or something after work as a law enforcement officer, and this is your hunting buddy. Oh, he's got a whole case of guns, but you're not worried about him. You're not worried about him. Only that black person that legally answers his door in a threatening neighborhood. Come on, you know what it's like to live in these neighborhoods and be the minority. You are one, big bro. You know. We talk about it all the time. And I'm not
Yes,
trying to hurt
sir.
people's feelings. But this should not be the American way anymore because most families, as I was saying before we were cut off, are now more diverse. Most families aren't just white, black, or Mexican or whatever. It's white, black, and Mexican because everyone's multicultural. There's so many interracial relationships. How are we still upholding this type of behavior in the South? It should be no more of, oh, he killed another black man, just another black man. I ain't tied to no finances, no nothing. Probably don't have a will. probably don't have a way to, you know what I'm saying, to take care of their funeral services, no insurance, no nothing, just nobody to back them. Dirt, we didn't lose nothing. And that's sad, big bro. That's sad. You just killed a serviceman. We dropping bombs right now in Hamas. What if he was one of the servicemen scared to go drop a bomb? They talk about free this and free that. How you gonna free it if you killing the serviceman? You got the floor, big bro.
Yeah, and to go back to the situation, the knock by the sheriff was very aggressive. I would have gone and got my gun. Somebody knocking on my door like that. So of course, the reaction is, yeah, get a weapon. You're not sure if this is a sheriff or not. But I have to go to the position of we have to do things as Black men to ensure we survive that altercation. And I would have not opened the door until there was backup there, because this was a sheriff by himself. When you're by yourself, you have that mentality that I'm going to survive this, and defend myself because I want to get home to my wife and children. So I would never open the door to a policeman or sheriff who's there by himself. I just would not do it. I would just say loudly, wait until backup comes and then we'll talk then. But you're out there by yourself, ain't nothing going on, because in many cases there's been a one-on-one, a policeman and a Black man by themselves, and the Black man has never survived that stop. So that's what I would do. I would tell my son that, it's one-on-one with a cop, just stay where you're at, don't move or anything, don't open the door. If they try to barge in, yeah, you have the right to start shooting then, yeah, just say stay out there until backup comes. So that's what I would have done, as an older Black man. So I want to give pause to those out there who the reality is that Black men in this country are perceived differently. So we have to survive these altercations and, until they come around to respecting that we have a right to, speak up and say who we are before you start shooting. But right now, this man is 23 years old, Mr. Uncut. His life in front of him, and he is now gone because of sheriff made a mistake, an
Let me ask
error.
you a question. Let me ask you a question, big bro. It sounds like this young man was in some type of fear for his life. He did answer the door with the weapon. Okay, there is proof of this Karen calling the police. We don't know how many occurrences there have been. We don't know what she told them. Okay, so we don't know
Hmm.
how she painted the scenario to this officer before he approached this young man's door. Now, here's what I need the public to see. And I operate on content of character. And I'm going to drive this home. I'm going to drive this home. I don't expect a racist person or a law enforcement. I don't I don't expect those Trump type law enforcement first type people to really get what I'm saying because it's not them. But I expect all the humans and those who operate in the spiritual realm, the God fearing people, to understand what I'm saying. Okay? This brother was obviously in fear for his life. And this police was obviously in fear for his life. I'm guessing at some point Karen was either being nosy or she was in fear for her life. So, what makes this police fear for his life more important or more justifiable than this brother being in fear for his life where he lives? The first thing that police should have thought about when he answered the door is, what the heck is going on out here? You have to answer your door with a gun. Has there been a problem? Is someone bothering you? Has there been an altercation? See, that's policing. Policing comes with counseling. It comes with investigating. It don't come with, oh, fear for my life, gun, black dude, boom, 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 boom. It's not right to paint the scenario that just because the person holding, you know what I'm saying, the firearm is a different color. That's some Jim Crow stuff, man. That's some William Lynch stuff, man. That's some racist stuff, my dude. Racist stuff. I've told you about the police here. Steady trying to serve me, but you're throwing papers, hitting me in my back. I'm gonna throw these right back at you. You giving them to the wrong person who don't even live here, or you gonna take these right back. You're going to do your job the right way. You're going to do your job the right way. This brother is deceased because a cop knocked on his door while he was in the privacy of his home with his own personal firearm that he bought legally while being in the Air Force for the U.S. military, and you're dead because this country says when you see a black man with a weapon, kill him. Did we not see what happened to Derek Chauvin? Did we not see what happened to Derek Chauvin? I don't understand why he's dead. And like I said, if there's anyone that this isn't bothering, they must not have a blended family. They got to still be living like the KKK around here. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many families that's multicultural. Multicultural. You know what I'm saying? Just because a person look a certain way don't mean that they are. There's too many people who have mixed children in their family. Whether it's black and white, black and Spanish, Puerto Rican and white, whatever. Everyone should be feeling this right now. A police should no longer be allowed to knock on your door in 2024 or pull you over on the side of the road in 2024 and kill you dead without everybody getting erratic. Not just the black community, everybody. Everybody. One more time. Everybody. See, my boss, I'm going to tell you why I love my boss. My boss don't play. My boss has mixed grandbabies. You see what I'm saying? And my boss, man, listen, I love my boss, man. She's the most thorough, most loving, most fun, most supportive, most coolest, you know what I'm saying, white woman that God created. Honestly, honestly, cool as hell. Boy, my boss don't play that with that racism. My boss don't play that. You can't come nowhere near her talking that racist stuff. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how good of friends y'all are, used to be, or trying to be. She's not going to take it. You know why? Because her daughters have mixed children, my man. You know what I'm saying? It's about content of character. This same police is going to go hang out with his buddies who hunt that's got just as many guns as he has, and he's never going to feel threatened. But this black guy was probably being hunted by the opposition, answer his door on the right end of the law, on the right end of his threshold of his door to sustain that privacy. You see what I'm saying? And now he's dead and gone. Big bro, you got the floor.
Once again, this serviceman was inside his apartment, and he did not make a threatening move in the video. The gun was pointed toward the floor. So for that sheriff to react the way he did, there is no, to me, justification. There was no move by that serviceman to raise the gun up from the level he was at. It was pointed toward the floor. So the mentality of that sheriff was, if you see somebody like that with a gun, shoot first, ask questions later. And that's a mentality that has been in this country for years, for folks look like me, I'll put it that way. And that still disturbs me. So there's got to be some change in thoughts. This is a serviceman, a United States serviceman in the Air Force, 23 years old, and that can happen to him in this country. Then who is safe? None of us are safe.
If we can say that there was something you said, I was trying to hold on to it. There was something you said. But my thing, okay, what if the public just starts busting out police because we see a gun and we're fearful? What if black men, what if, you know what I'm saying, any culture who loves anybody who's going through it? What if they just start busting on police because the police is armed and they're not? Because they feel threatened. That would be illegal. That would be illegal. And we do have great cops. They do have a dangerous job. But one of the most dangerous parts of their job is thinking righteously, thinking common sense. And that's dangerous with the law enforcement officer, whether they look like us or not. And let's be honest, they don't have to be white police. They don't have to be a white police. A black police, someone who looked like you would still do the same thing. The same thing and justify it. Justify it. It's not right. No matter how they try to shape this, it is not right, big bro. If you are that damn scared, get another job. If you can't approach a situation, like I'm going through a situation right now, right? Where a fake behind cousin of mine, who ain't really my cousin, my uncle just raised his ugly twitching butt. His old Tourette, he got Tourette's. He can't do nothing without twitching, you know. But he's a snake in the grass. You want to ruin everybody else's life, everybody else's comfort zone, but you're not telling your wife about the many women that you're involved in, the pictures that you sent. And you've told me some stories about your wife as well, even involved with another guy in a car. You know what I mean? And you didn't speak too good of it, you know. But you're chasing me. You're doing everything you can to ruin me. You're going to lie to the hypothalamus on divorcing and tell her that I sold a car for $750. Now, in the state of Florida, you can't sell a car that has both of your names on the title if the name says this person and that person. You have to have both people present. You can't even pull a deed for it. But I'm going to show you how dumb people are in their intellect. Do you know even when she filed a divorce, I've heard that she put in the paperwork that I sold this vehicle for $700 and she wants half of it? You dummy. How can you sell a vehicle with both of you names on it? But this comes from not knowing anything. So now you're going to go to court and make yourself look even more stupid because you got to provide proof listening to this dummy who can't even tell his wife that he's still cheating on every lunch break and everything else. He drives a truck. You know what I'm saying? You doing this to your wife and kids. You done ruined everything for me. And I can't get my hands on a little. I'm trying to keep this PG. You know what I mean? He ain't my real family. But this is what people do. This is why I say know your rights. And this is why I don't entertain certain things. I laugh it off because I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. This world wants us to be stupid. This world does not like people who are educated. Now, let's see how smart this judge is. Because this judge actually reward her saying that I have to pay. No, I should have to pay you nothing. Nope, I dropped the car off to have some work done on it because it kept overheating and shutting off on me. At the time that my truck was messing up too, we were just splitting up. Hell, I need a way around. It's 107, 108 degrees. I ain't got nowhere to live. I'm gonna live inside one of these vehicles. You understand what I'm saying? The car kept breaking down. Took the car to the shop. They did the work on it. They called me. I wasn't expecting it to be that much. Couldn't afford it. Hadn't started working yet. So he held the car, held the car, held the car. After 90 days, I guess he assumed a clean title. And he was able to own the car and sell the car. Had nothing to do with me. I just couldn't afford the payment. So they put a lien on the car. Now it's being lied to saying that I sold the car. The reason I'm bringing that up is because this brother would be lied on and say that he pointed this gun at this police. He pointed the gun. They're going to find a way to justify the injustice behind it all. That's why I'm bringing this up. That's why I'm bringing this up. I could be nasty and email my cousin's wife. I could send her all the pictures he ever sent me of all these naked women, the ambers and everything. I could play his game, even though this bastard just had a heart attack and should have died. You know, I could play his game. But God is already whooping him. God is already whooping him. Now, if I was close to him, I would help God whoop him. You know what I'm saying? But God is already whooping him. So God is going to show himself in everything. The same way God showed himself in that George Floyd case with Derek Chauvin. You know, this just it's time for this to stop. If you hate white people just because they white people, you ignorant, you stupid. If you hate black people just because they black people, you ignorant, you stupid. If you let a white person live with a gun, but you'll kill a black person because they got a gun, you ignorant, you stupid. Because all in all, we are people. We are human beings. Human beings. And no one has helped me the way that my European Americans have helped me and embraced me, my brother. So I don't want to believe that this is every cop. My mindset has changed because then I wasn't out there socializing. I was stuck in the house going through social media, CNN, MSNBC, and seeing all this stuff they feeding you, and then they want you to think that this is the way of the people. But when you're out and about and you're physically socializing with people who don't look like you, that's when you get to learn people who don't look like you. And you know what? The people who don't look like me are some okay people to me, bro. There are some okay people to me, bro. So one thing that this story won't paint the picture of racism. It won't paint the picture of blacks versus whites. No, no. Ignorant ass cop. Isolated event, ignorant ass cop. Okay. Lots of people can argue that this man should not have answered the door with it. This is his door, his gun. He's a decorated serviceman. He owns it legally. Police do not knock. A police ain't knocking like this, big bro. They ain't gonna knock like that, big bro. They gonna knock in a threatening manner. Boom, 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 boom. Police. That's gonna, man. I don't know if you're really the police or what. Let me protect me before I open this door, man. And now you dead because of his approach, not the black guy's approach, the police's approach. And they're still following up on what these Karens are saying. And the quickest way to get one of us killed is to follow up with a Karen. That's why the most important thing we can do is right here, these video cameras. Cameras don't lie. Although we learned from Chief Tummy Tuck in Northport that they can edit them. And I'm going to be putting the real footage out on that too, because I protected the hippopotamus all these years. All those racial slurs she put out there in that videotape, I edited and I wore. But now that we're no longer, I'm going to let her wear the wrath of it too. Since you work around all these prestigious people, I'm going to let you wear it too. I'm not protecting anyone anymore. I'm putting everything out there. Everything. And that's what we've got to start doing. That's what we've got to start doing. Even with law enforcement, we have to start putting everything out there. Whenever there's a police knocking on the door, best thing you can have ain't a gun, it's a video recorder. Because they're not going to put their livelihood at stake. Not on camera. I had proof that that police officer came here and tried to serve me divorce papers and threw them and hit me in my back. 2 of my neighbors seen it and 3 ring cams picked it up. Now, you can serve me divorce papers. Listen, I want this to be over. But you're going to abide by the law in doing so. You're not going to wait till I turn my back, enter in my home, and throw them and hit me in my back. So I rolled them back up and I threw them and hit him with it. You know, this is legal. You got to take this because all these cameras just pick this up and you just jeopardize your livelihood. So guess what? Right now, I'm going to look at you as a citizen too, a civilian. I rolled him right back up and I threw him right back out his ass and hit him. I'm not in jail. You know why? I have witnesses. Cameras don't lie. Cameras don't lie. Police are dirty. Police are dirty. Not all of them, some of them, because I have met some cool cops, man. Some cool cops. I got a few of them on the team. Imagine me saying I have some cool cops on my team. But I do. I got some cops I can call right now personally, their cell phone numbers. You see what I'm saying? And they cool. We could hang out. We could do whatever. Go boating. Do whatever. Do whatever. White guys. They wouldn't do anything like that. They wouldn't show up to a person doing shooting just because they got a gun. Because they weren't raised that way. You got the floor, big bro.
And that is my caution to those out there that understand that not every policeman has been trained properly, okay? There are some who have not been trained in how to respond to these kind of situations in a calm manner. This sheriff was very aggressive from the jump, even like you said, from his boom, boom, boom on the door, the way his voice sounded, you know, it would make me start to fear, okay, who is this out there who might be a pretend cop? I don't know who this is. So yeah, defensive mode for me, go for a defensive thing in my hand, protect myself just in case, you know. But we must pause as men, I'm saying, and realize that these sheriffs from these small towns especially are not properly trained how to react to people like us. That's my point, that everybody is not given the same kind of training. So understand that and try to survive the situation, knowing that this may be a badly trained policeman, you know, has no idea how to talk to a man who looks like me. So understand that and do not give them a chance to take you out by having a weapon in your hand. Just stay inside until somebody else comes around. You know, why would you want to open a door? I wouldn't do it. You know, you shouldn't have to, but if you have to knock and steal today,
I gotta
what I
channel
would
my
do,
inner
sir.
Snoop. I gotta channel my inner Snoop Dogg. Now hold on one manizzle. Wait one manizzle. For shizzle my nizzle. Wait one manizzle. So you telling me, not you personally, but this is what the world is telling me, that you're afraid of me because I'm a black guy who may own a firearm. You know, you can't hold a conversation with me because I'm a black guy who may legally own a firearm, but you can hold a conversation with everybody else who looks the same as you and you don't feel threatened, and they own more firearms than we do because they got more money to afford them, but yet you're okay with that. I have to watch what I do because you're afraid of me and I speak English like you. I'm from the same country that you're from. My people helped build this, not help, did build this for free to accommodate everybody else. Boy, these some reparations for your butt right here, boy. If a bullet is reparations, they damn sure paying reparations. If a bullet in a black man's ass is reparations, big bro, I'm here to tell you we are receiving our reparations. Now, a lot of people gonna be mad I said that way, but they'll understand it. They know what they're gonna get out of Mr. Uncut. I come without a filter. I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna speak the truth. There's no way that you should fear a black man who speaks English just like you, who may be just as smart, if not as smart as you. Hold a conversation. Get to know that person's content of character. Everything is not a safety issue. Some people operate out of fear. Fear doesn't mean that there was a breach of safety. Just because you have a fear does not mean that someone is breaching your right to safety. It means that in your mind, you've orchestrated someone having the opportunity to breach your line of safety, and you don't want to be the first one caught. So, like you said
Yeah.
earlier, shoot first, ask questions later. That's not how it goes, bro. If he didn't aim that gun, what if there was no bullets in that gun? What if the gun wasn't even loaded? They don't know what this guy's been going through. Has he made any calls, any reports to the police? Everything's on a recorded line. How many times have he called the police out here to complain about someone bothering him or being racist towards him or whatever the point may be? Come, are we kidding right now? In
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. There's more to the story. The background is that he was on FaceTime with a girlfriend, and that he was playing video games before the FaceTime started. So this witness supposedly heard what happened, but that's what I've heard so far. There's been no person who's come on the TV to say their side of the story, that they were on FaceTime with Mr. Fortson. So we'll find out about that later on. But there's somebody out there who kind of witnessed this, I think, through their ears about what happened. So we're going to get more facts about that. But the reality is, sir, that again, some sheriffs believe they have their right to shoot somebody who looks like you and me. That's the culture they've been taught for whatever reason. So we have to be able to ensure we survive the altercation. That's what I'm stressing. Yours, sir.
It's in their constitution. It's in their constitution, big bro. Cattle laws. It's in their constitution. You know, anytime that one of us are acting out in public, they have the right to put us down due to hostility. It's like a wild animal. If you had a wild lion or tiger or ape running through the streets, you're gonna just get rid of the threat. And that's how they're trained because of their constitution to get rid of the threat. You know, the constitution says it has not been changed. You know what I'm saying? We are what, 2/5 of human being, 3/5 of human being. We fall under slavery laws, and cattle laws. This has not been revised, big bro. This is their game plan. Their game plan, not all, some, but this is why I don't respect this government. This is why I don't respect this country. I love the people, the citizens, because you have great people here. You see what I'm saying? You have great people who don't think this way, who don't see us this way. All right. I'm telling you, I know what I know. This is a different Mr. Uncut from 3, 4 years ago when I was on. I'm telling you, I've been out here to see it. I know. So this isn't how America thinks. This is how they want America to think. You understand what I'm saying to you? This isn't how America thinks of black people. This is how they want America to think of black people. Honest, like this, that's all I can give you. That's all I can give you. This was wrong. I haven't read it, but just based on what you're telling me, they're still going to cover it up for this officer. They're going to hide his name. He's going to be suspended with pay. They're going to try to reach out to the family, give them a silver suit, probably for wrongful death or negligence or whatever else, a certain amount, because they know black people don't come from money. You give them money, they'll shut up. Like if you give a pastor some money on Sundays, he'll finally shut up. You know what I'm saying? They know how the game go. They know how the game go. And it's another brother dead, successful brother, whose children probably would have looked up to him and joined the military too. This military could have had generations of his seed serving because he was such a great guy who opened the door well within his rights because he was afraid too, because he was in fear too. We're not allowed to we're not allowed to operate in fear as black men. We can't be in fear for our lives and our survival. If anybody in this country is going to be in fear of their life and survival, who should it be? They're not exactly opening the doors to us to come over here. They're closing the doors. And when we get over here, they make sure they find a way to what? Either keep us oppressed, broke, or dead, or locked away. Come on, bro. Come on, big bro.
One last fact: they've got America's lawyer on the case. Mr. Ben Crump, of course, is on the case with the family. So we'll see what's going to happen. But he gets every case like this for whatever reason. But we'll see what the facts are when they come out in more detail. And the sheriff is on admin leave, like you said, being paid right now. So we'll see what happens to him. Will he be, fired? Will he be given some jail time or what? But I would try to follow this and see its conclusion.
Are we really gonna sit here and uplift the fact that Ben Trump, I call him Ben Trump, I don't even say Ben Crump, Ben Trump. Are we gonna sit here and actually solidify and gloat in the fact that America's most number one criminal exploitive attorney is on this case? This guy exploits people's death. You want to know why he's got so much money? He can always find the money because he know when a black man get killed, that's guaranteed money. So he's only going to take cases to where it's guaranteed money. You can't be partially hurt. You got to be all the way dead. You cannot be partially hurt. You got to be all the way dead. Is he going to survive? Was he grazed by the bullet or is he dead? Because if he's going to survive, he's grazed by the bullet, we're not going to take your case. But if he's dead, we'll take your case. Then he handled the Breonna Taylor case too.
He
He's
was
been on
involved with
all
that,
these
yeah.
cases. It's a
Yeah.
game. And I'm starting to think this government assigns him because these people can't afford Ben Crump. But now that your loved one is dead, you can afford them. So I think the
Does his
government
team does his team call the family? I wonder does he get involved in all these cases? It's amazing.
Listen, I don't trust Ben Crump no more than I trust the Grand Wizard or the KKK. I might trust the Grand Wizard or the KKK a little bit more. I may. I may. Like people can say what they want to say, but shoot, I got a little bit more respect for Trump than I do Biden. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Trump might say some stuff that get up under your skin, but man, if we want to know how to have thick skin by now, 400 something plus years later, we'll never have thick skin. But look at what Trump does. Trump gave all this money to HBCUs. Trump overturned all these sentences, brought black people home who were suffering from mass incarcerations. You see what I'm saying? Trump passed bills to where women can no longer be chained down to beds while incarcerated, having babies in front of male officers. You know what I'm saying? Trump did lots of good stuff, man. He did more than Biden and what Obama did, but the world hates him. The world hates the truth. The world hates us. They profile this man the same way they profile us. They hate this man the same way they hate us. I don't care what nobody say. Trump is black. Trump is black because that's how they treat him. Trump is black. Go Brandon. Trump is black. I'm gonna just wrap that up like that. Trump is black. They do not like him the way they do not like us. And if they ain't gonna fight for us, they ain't gonna fight for Trump. I'm trying to tell you something real. I'm trying to tell you something real. You know what Trump and that police officer got in common that just shot this brother? All three of us gonna have in common. Me being the third one. Me, Trump, and that police who shot that brother. We all gonna have mug shots. We all got mug shots. See, we got that in common. See how God work. See how God work. Now we're on the same level. Forget color. Definitely got qualification and characteristics. I got a mug shot. You got a mug shot. He got a mug shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad, big bro. But we're not gonna
Yeah,
send a message out here to our people. Like we have to keep living in this fear, or we have to do things differently than what European Americans or Spanish Americans or whatever they are doing when they are approached by the police. It has to be nothing no different. The police have to change their system. They have to change the way they think, the way that they perceive us. If this person is not a threat because they're white, we're not a threat because we're black. That's all I got for you, big bro.
I just have one last comment. I am curious if this Mr. Fortson being a serviceman will make a difference in how this is all resolved, because the military sometimes applies pressure that we don't know about the things that are going on. So I'm just curious, will there be more of a movement to get this sheriff, fired or whatever? But we'll see how it turns out. But again, his name is Roger Fortson out of Florida, and our prayers to his family, of course, for what they're going through. His mother was on the TV, and you feel badly for her. That her son is lost at a young age, had a great career ahead of him, and now this happens. So welcome to America. Thank you,
Well,
sir.
let's hope that she does get wind of this Zoom. If you send me her information, I'll definitely direct it towards her. You know, just send me her name or whatever. I've kind of learned how to get these videos where we need them to go. I'll make sure that she gets wind of this, as we did in the Jalen Randall case, if you remember that some years ago. That family actually spoke back to us, and it was amazing. So we'll do the same thing here. And big bro, I just thank you for your time. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And people, this is the reason that Mr. Uncut chose to just be spiritual. Because after going through all this, hearing all this bad news, and just being being overwhelmed with shooting after shooting, racist act after racist act, racist law after racist law. This person's coming in the country, but these people can't come in the country. These people got this, but these people don't have. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that, big bro. I'm almost 50 years old. You see what I'm saying? I'm tired of that, big bro. I want to enjoy the rest of my life, my glory years, whatever I have ahead of me, in peace. And I want to do it thrivingly. You see what I'm saying? I want to do it thrivingly. So that's where I'm at with it, and that's why I keep God first. So, big bro, do you have anything else you want to add?
I'm good, sir. Thanks for your time again.
Okay, thank you, big bro. And to all the listeners, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that share button. And we have to start learning and obeying the law. This is not comply and die. People, you cannot say that this man should have been shot, killed because he opened his door with a gun. This man is in the privacy of his own home. He has the right to walk around that weapon in the privacy of his home, even if a police answer his door. If he obtained it legally and he's standing on the other side of his door, on the inside, guess what? Castle law. Guess what? Stand your ground. These are Florida loophole laws, people. Know your laws, people. Okay? Know your laws. Okay, y'all stay prayed us, stay blessed us, stay meditated us, stay protected, stay real, stay woke, stay uncut, be inspired, be great, be you. This police should not have a way out of this. And I'm not against all police, but I'm certainly against this police. I'm certainly against this police. I've got a newfound respect for police here lately. I do. For the good ones, the great ones, yes. For the ones who take time to talk to you, counsel you, the ones who don't want to do 20 pages of paperwork. They just want the situation resolved in the most cordial, civil way possible, so that I don't have to spend my time doing this paperwork. I don't have to lock you up because I technically don't know what you're going through. So let's meet somewhere in the middle. Those are the ones that I like. The the people who like this, who see a black man with, would he have done that if it was another brother? If it was someone, would he have done that if that brother looked like the Karen who called him? Let's think about that. If this was not a black man, let's say this was a white guy, still Air Force, still everything, but the only difference is this is a white guy on the other end of the door when the police bangs on the door, and this white guy's brandishing a weapon when he opens the door. Is that white guy dead to this day? Would he have been shot and killed? That's how you have to look at it. So, y'all, stay real, stay woke, stay uncut, be inspired, be great, be you, and just be vigilant. Be aware that everyone's not covered by the blood of Jesus. Everyone's not covered by the blood of the Savior. Everyone's not a saint. Everyone's not who they say they are. That's all I can give you. This country don't love us like that, my man. Ashe.